Hi, my name is TJ Singh and I'm the SIG product specialist at EandM in Southern California. In this video, I will talk about some of the new features of our safety light curtains with the introduction of the new extension modules, and I will wrap up the video with a nice demo of the software and show you how we can easily configure our devices. If you are familiar with safety light curtains from SIG, then the one thing that really stands out is the modularity. With the deTec4, we have a modular approach where we use system plugs with our light curtains, and effectively whatever feature that you need for your application can be set directly with the dip switches on the backside, which allows you to have a future-proof product where you can always add functionality as you scale up. And with the introduction of the new DCM4, you have an option to add even more features such as object pattern recognition, fixed and floating blanking, smart Restart Interlock, as well as USB-C for configuring this device, and that makes programming a piece of cake. Let's now jump into the software demo and let me show you how easy it is to configure this device. Alright, so I'm connected with my deTec4 light curtain, and this is what the software interface looks like. It's called Safety Designer, which again is our standard safety software for all our safety products. And I have already put in the device here in my device overview. So if I click on this tab here, open device configuration, this is where I can go ahead and play with the current configuration. So if you see here right now, the device is live. If I put my hand in, you see this being dynamically changing, OSSD off, and now requiring a reset. And now on the top, it's overview right now where we are currently in. Now if we press on this tab called configuration, now it becomes super simple to use. Firstly, on the top we have readout, and this is what we can do is read whatever the device configuration is. Next is identification. We can have a project name and assign device some ID if we have multiple of these. And then we come into the hardware configuration tab. This on the right side, if you notice, I have a bunch of the I/O options which I can use for inputs and outputs, obviously. And in my configuration, this DCM4, obviously one connector is a M12 8-pin to the sender and one is for the receiver, and then we have the other one through which I'm giving it the power, and then the USB-C, which is how I'm connected to it. What I did was on my receiver and extension module, I simply went here on the command devices, and if you notice in the other video, you will see as I raise it up, I have this device mounted, and if I infringe my light curtain, you will see the flashlight pop up. And very simply I did that by dragging it and placing it here, and you will see it gets highlighted too if I want to put it. And once I press this reset, the light curtains goes green. And just like that, you can add more functionality with muting signals as well as getting EandM signals and much more. Once we do that, we can go to the final step, which is the configuration tab, where you can actually add different features and functionality. So I'll show you a couple of them since we have so many. So some of the prominent ones will be something called Smart Restart Interlock. So what that does is, as you notice, if I put my hand in the yellow light, obviously it's a pretty tall light curtain, you can't see it, but it's right now requesting a restart because I infringed it. Some applications, however, you do not want to keep restarting it because you lose a lot of production time, and you know that it's a very small part and that could not have been a human interaction. So for this, we use this current feature. If I click on the Smart Restart Interlock, what I tell it here is the total number of beams that, if infringed, will allow automatic restart as soon as it can see the light beam come through. So let's say the object size would be 3 beams. So if it's a 3 beam, less than a 3 beam article that comes inside the light curtain, I want to have a direct restart without asking the reset interlock to be restarted. And you can also limit the area. So I have a 900 millimeter long light curtain, so I can actually decide how much of an area I want to use for this. So right now I'm just going to go the entire space, and once you do that, all you have to do is on the top transfer button. So if I press on transfer to the device, so once the configuration is loaded, it is going to ask me to verify it, and once I press on the verify button, it is going to accept that configuration, and I say run the device. Alright, so device is operational right now, and we can go in the service data, or the diagnostic data, and have a live view of the status. So I do have to press the reset once, and you will see the OSSD on state come in, and that's the feature of the software. Again, you can have a live view of the beams. And if I go on the bottom part of the beam and I put one finger in right now, what you will notice is the device restarted it, right? Like if I put my finger in, it says OSD off, and I go out, it starts again without requiring a restart. Now if I put 4 fingers in and go out, it will ask you to do a reset. And as you can see, this light popped up. Now I have to press the button, and then it goes green. So that's how simple it was to avoid these kind of common false trips. Now, we also have something called reduced resolution. So what that allows you to do is, if I activate it and go to my advanced beam resolution, so in reduced resolution, if I activate this device, I have the ability to basically have a certain area of the beam blocked, but not go into the safe state. So what that would do is, I do have to configure, as you can see here, it says you have to configure it. So for that, let's say I add an area. Now, this is again a very long light curtain, right? So I can define, let's say I only want to play with the bottom part of this light curtain, and I have number of beams. So let's say I am going to go from 70 to 90. So if I say start beam is 70, and I say ignore everything that is around 2 beams, and that is because I already have a smart reset interlock, so that size is obviously going to be bigger than my blanking size. So I'll stick with 2. Now, in this entire 20 beam area, if I have 2 beams that are blocked, they will not cause a trigger to the safety system. So I can also define how many of these objects can actually be in that entire zone at the same time. So let's say I do 2, and what happens is once I transfer the configuration. All right, so now obviously I have to reset it once you actually put in the new configuration. So as soon as I press the reset, it's good, working. Now if I put one finger in here, you will see that it actually did not trigger the stop, the OSSD stops, right? And if I go out, obviously nothing happens. Let's go into diagnostics. So actually you see the OSSD does not trip. Now if I put 2 fingers in, the SSD goes off. But if I take my hand out, it's going to ask you for a reset. Now if I put one finger here and another one right here, you will see that it still does not trip it because I have advanced resolution there. And that's how simple it is to add reduced resolution features. So now we also have other features like blanking. So what blanking does is you can either have fixed or floating blanking, but that would require that article to always be present in that field. So let's say what happens with the floating blanking is, let's do floating. So I can define the total area. Let's say I can be anywhere in this light curtain, and if the object size is, let's say, more than 6 beams, then trigger a stop. But if it is 6 beams are blocked, then ignore it anywhere in the light curtain. And this can be for applications somewhere where the operator is probably trying to feed something to the machine, or there's a press, they're trying to insert some parts. So let's say you want to do that. And for that, you just go to your teach-in, and you can also do teach-in there. So once you set that, you can press on the transfer. I will press the transfer here. So obviously this is going to go red. Why? Because it is expecting at least 6 beams to be blocked in this entire space. So now obviously it's expecting 6 beams to be blocked. So what I can do here is go here and put my fingers there, and you can see now the reset is triggering, which means if I press the reset, it should give me a green, good to go, and right there. Alright, so that's advanced reduced resolution. So if we go back, we have many more features like operating modes. So you can have multiple different modes like muting, blanking, and reduced resolution advanced. So you can switch between them without actually restarting the whole system. Definitely very useful. You can also do muting with multiple sensors, and what you can also do is simple blanking. So if I activate blanking, let's say I know that a certain part of this light curtain is always going to be blocked and I want to ignore it. So what I can do is I can literally go and add object, and let's say on the bottom entire part in this section, I want to just ignore everything and have the light curtain just operational without caring what happens here. And these are common in application where you have constant movement here, or it's through a conveyor or something. So this is what you would do. So let's say I have this Flexi compact controller, and if I put it here in the bottom, it's blocking around 80 to 11 beams. So I can just say, hey, start at the beam 80. So after 80, object size could be 11. And it actually has a nice representation here on the left side, what we are setting here and what the real dynamic current configuration looks like. And it's pretty much matching here, and I think there's no gap. So I'll just transfer this configuration in there. And what you would notice is that once this new configuration is pushed in, all I have to do is a reset, which obviously is common after you set in this new configuration, and it should look for this part to always be there, and if it is not present there, it is going to trigger an automatic stop. And once I click on the verify here, right now just sending in the configuration, this window pops up. And you can see all the status LEDs are blinking as it's taking the new configuration. And what should happen is if I press on run, we can obviously go to diagnostics, or you can just see here. Now the yellow LED starts popping on, which basically tells me that a reset is required. You can see it here, if not on the other side of the video. And if I press on the reset here, the device starts working. And you can see it's ignoring everything here. But now what happens is if I put my hand above somewhere here, it obviously stops and then tells you, hey, reset required again. So if I press reset, starts working. And if I take this thing out of here, Now, obviously, it's going to turn off because it says, hey, the part is not there. So somebody's messed around with the uh, light curtain. So again, putting it back, pressing on the reset, starts working. And that's how simple it was to configure the light curtains with our new DCM4 modules. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or concerns, or you want to see a live demo of our light curtains with the new DCM4 module, please reach out to us at the email provided on the screen. Thank you and have a wonderful rest of your day.